Hey Libra, how are my seekers doing? Seekers, fears, and shifters. Welcome to the Existential Shift. This will be a reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Intuitively Guided. Cross watchers are also welcome. To my seekers who watch all of my videos, hey there, you loyal core tribe. Always nice to have you as well. And thank you so much for my channel members, of course. Okay. I'm working with the Light Seers Tarot because they're gorgeous. But first I'm going to start with a couple of animal spirit to understand the archetype of the reading. And stay tuned because at the end I will also pull runes. Animal spirit, to commence this reading for my Libras, please. What's going on with Libra? I feel a nice sense of calm for you. It's really great. Tiger. I feel like this is coming through as you, or you're coming through as this tiger. There's this quiet power to you. It's not to say that the jungle isn't hustling and bustling and full of magic, but also dangers, and you're well aware. It's just you're in alignment and you're in connection to that part of yourself that is always grounded, that is always connected to your higher self and to the cosmos, that is always secured. You trust yourself in times of peace and you trust yourself in times of war. And you've reached this place now, at least, at the very least. Now, of course, we all get hijacked by energies sometimes. We all lose our cool. But generally speaking, you've reached this level where you can re-find yourself. Too many. After having refined yourself. Refined. Cosmic egg. There it is. It's an energetic completion. You've gone through the hoops, the lessons, the cycles, the trials. Now, life is ongoing. There will be things that come up, of course, but you've graduated to a level where from here on, dealing with these things, handling these things, you have a higher ground now, okay? Mentally, emotionally, and energetically. I think you're at a place where you can lead others to get to that place. You might actually be in a leadership position of some sort that requires you to exercise this aspect of you, this wise power. The Tower. You have been initiated for this, Libra. You have been prepared for this. Now, whether you're aware that this journey has prepared you for this or not, your higher self, of course, is. You have come this far, so it could be taken this far because you'll be able to hold it and what's the word I'm looking for? Not exactly contain it, though, as well, but refine it, manage it, tame it. And whatever energy this is or situation this is, it's going to rebel. It's going to shake up, right? And okay, Libra, you have been trained for this, right? Either it's actually something that you've been training for, or just spiritually and energetically throughout your life in different situations, in different conditions that you've managed, right? You've been trained for this. What is this? Show me more, please. I feel like something around you is collapsing, is being broken down. I don't think it's you or specifically in relation directly to you, but somehow in your environment, in your vicinity, some sort of situation breaks down. Knight of Cups. And maybe you're the person to help it through it, right? Or get it through the finish line. Or help stabilize it, and you're expected to. So either this person or these people, whoever is involved in the situation that is breaking down, is kind of looking to you, or even reaching out to you and saying, "Hey, Libra, I think you can help us, or I think you can help me, or I think you can do something about this. Will you?" It's not a demand. It's not certainly not a command. It's a gentle request. Queen of Pentacles. It is from someone in a position of authority of some sort, or a position of influence. But I also see you as, I also see this queen here as you being not very bothered by it. You're like, if you used to just kind of jump the wagon or hop on that boat and be like, yes, I will come to the rescue. Yes, I will help the situation. Yes, I'm going to be the one to show up. Now you're like, because of this, tiger cosmic egg place that you've arrived to, it's like you're taking a beat. You're like, do I want to involve myself in this? Is this my battle? Is this my problem? Did I cause this? Am I responsible for this? If I'm not, will it benefit me somehow? This is not about being selfish or greedy. This is about reaching a maturity where you matter too. You care about yourself, your long haul. Does this fit? Do you have time for this? Do you have energy for this? Is it going to come at the expense of other things that are more important to you? Maybe not. Maybe this is something you believe in. Maybe this is something that matters to you. Maybe this involves people that you care about. Maybe you feel genuinely inclined to show up for this. But what I like about this, what I'm seeing here is that you don't just jump to give an answer or to be certain. You're taking your time a little bit, or at least you're taking a pause. And also you've arrived to this like serenity after very tumultuous time. Like this could have been your recent past with the tower, or just general past where things have been unstable and constantly breaking down and maybe even dangerous. And now there's a different flow to your life. It's like you found your ground. You found your footing. You found the piece of the jungle where you want to build a nest and roam and rule from, the Hierophant. One meaningful aspect of wisdom is knowing when and where to utilize it, and when and where it will be helpful, as opposed to just kind of go over someone's head, or to take the more uncomfortable example of like not casting pearls in front of swine. You're more selective with who you help, how you help, and with your wisdom. I do have a little bit of a caveat to this, because one of my pet peeves is people hoarding knowledge, or placing themselves as the gatekeeper of either knowledge or medicine, even, where it's like, are you worthy of it or not? Can you handle it or not? Like, who are you? Who are we to decide for another? I think one of the things that we're moving away from in the old world, is the notion that we need someone to decide on whether or not we're worthy of information, worthy of connecting to the divine, interpreters, bridgers. It was needed for a long time because the masses were clueless and ignorant, but the world has changed. And even though the masses to a certain degree are still ignorant and somewhat clueless, it's significantly less than it used to, and we are more able as a collective to manage expansion and growth. So information should be, it's already a lot more available, but also spiritual knowledge should be made more available for the genuine seeker. And then that raises the question, okay, who's to say who's a genuine seeker? The seeker. And if that's not the case, then that's not the case. Trust spirit to handle someone who isn't able to handle knowledge, or it's their responsibility. They're going to deal with the consequences if they insist. But I can't say to you, you're not ready. I might think that way. I might believe that way. I might tell you and share with you my thoughts, but it can only serve as advice. And I must always acknowledge that I might be wrong. And then it's your place to say, I still want to seek further or no further, or I want to take a back seat for now and let this unfold and maybe come back to it when I'm ready. We need to remember that masters no longer exist. Not truly, nor shouldn't. Teachers are. We can be masters of tarot. We can be masters of Zen. We could be masters of martial arts. But when it comes to our disciples, we're not their masters. We are their teachers. Okay? So, it used to not be that way, but we can't carry it with us to this new world, to this new frequency. We're not there anymore. People are free. And they are meant to be free. And if they give themselves to us, be it as students, be it as trainees, be it as patients, whatever the case may be, it's because they choose to. They have the power to break free at any moment. They just need to know it. And we are not ones to give them a different impression or kind of omit that part so that they don't know, so that they remain under our, control to us. Control. Let's face it, that's what it is. So, okay, so here with the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant, first of all, very Taurian energy, very wise earth energy. The teacher is coming through, but as a teacher, not as a master. A master of, who also teaches. But this understanding that we're not meant to have slaves anymore. Even in perception. Okay, if someone perceives themselves as our absolute servant, who will do anything we tell them to do, no matter what, if we don't have the wisdom and kindness and responsibility to tell them, hold on, you can learn from me, you can be inspired by me, you can love me, you can be loyal to me, but remember, it's a choice. You're not enslaved. And it is a conversation. If something in you stirs up strongly and feels that this is not for you or not true or this, say so. One of the things I really appreciate in universities in Israel, which is something I haven't seen anywhere in the world, and if that exists somewhere in the world, let me know. And I'm talking as a general rule, like it's across the board over there in the school system, in the education system, where when you get to the first class and the teacher or the professor introduces themselves to the class, the first thing they will say is, doubt me, question me, convey with me. Don't take my word as absolutes. That is dangerous. It's about teaching people to be leaders, not to be followers. Now, it's not to say you got to argue over everything for the sake of argument. Maybe it resonates. Maybe you just don't understand and you need more information. Maybe you want to be explained further. Maybe you need more convincing. Maybe it's just a no. Maybe you yourself as a student have information that somehow the teacher does not. Every teacher is still always a student. Every master is still always a seeker. And that's the kind of thing that is coming through right now. It's like, okay, questioning something, doubting something doesn't mean disrespect for the person who teaches or the person who leads. Quite the opposite. It's respect. It's the trust that you feel comfortable, you feel safe to express yourself, to ask questions. It's a compliment. When someone is just like kind of frozen and just nods at everything, that can showcase fear, not necessarily respect. And of course, there's a silver lining, and lines can be crossed, but it's situational, right? Here comes for me in this reading for you balance, that balance that I'm describing, that honorable aspect of wisdom, of leadership, of teaching. And it's beautiful. And I'm very proud of you, Libra. This is like one of your highest expressions of your sign and of your archetype. Many Libras are not in a place of balance because one of their life paths is to find balance. You're the sign of balance because that's the thing that you're seeking in this life. Balancing, harmonizing, integrating, mitigating. But the way to learn how to do that for the world is to learn to do that for ourselves, which means that initially we need to experience imbalance. And it's like you've gone through that and you're at a place of this high expression of the Libra archetype. The Hermit. Inevitably, it can create a form of isolation because that is not an energy that can be very much always in alignment with others and with society. It can make us feel a little bit outside, like outsiders. Not because anybody necessarily does something to make us feel that way, but because the frequencies are different. So we naturally feel a bit of discomfort. But there's still bottom of the deck 4 of Wands, so that shows me that you still have. Okay, no, sorry, I take it back. Okay, 4 of Wands and 9 of Swords. This means now that you're in this place, Libra, that you're going to experience losing people. People that you thought were your people, your tribe, your friends, your best friend, your best whatever. The in alignment is felt strongly now. Because maybe they disagree with you on that, right? Maybe you're in an environment where you're trying to promote democracy, but everyone else is like, no, I think this monarchy is still working. Never mind that everything collapses around them and nothing seems to work. They're still holding on, right? And that's just an analogy, although it could be literal. So that creates a fragmentation. It separates you from the crowd. And you wonder, do I belong here in this way? And it's hurtful. I mean, it's not that as soon as we leap with our consciousness that suddenly everything is rosy. It's like sometimes it's even harder emotionally. Because of an aspect of isolation that creates. The higher you climb, the more alone you are. There are less people at the top of the mountain than there are at the foot of the mountain. That's just natural to this realm. It's, enlightenment is a very lonely endeavor, especially when you reach, but the good news is there are other climbers, there are other like-minded people, and you will meet them or you will connect with them. or I'm hearing for some reconnect with them. Maybe someone that you weren't, they were in that place conscientiously. You were not. You were still a part of the herd. Okay. So there was a distant gap created between you two. But now that you're in there, in that mindset, in that frequency as well, there's a reconnection because now there's alignment that there wasn't then. So there will be reconnecting with people from the past that there was no resonance with, but now there is. There's meeting new people on the path. So it's okay, but yes, there will be a sense of grief and a sense of loss and a sense of disappointment. You're like, really? I was certain that that person would get it. The Fool. But it also comes with freedom. Incredible freedom. When you are no longer limited by conceptions just because this is how things have always been. Sometimes things that have always been a certain way, they've always been a certain way because it works, it's good, great. And sometimes it's just a bad habit. And sometimes it worked then, but now, we evolve, humanity evolves, society evolves, things change, things that used to work really well. So for example, it used to work for there to be a master and a trainee or a disciple, like everything, because people needed that. That was the state of consciousness of humanity. But now we're moving away from enslavement in general in humanity, right? We still have a long path to go because there are still places who practice that as we speak. But the West has brought it a long way. So I'm speaking literally with abolishing slavery, but it's a reflection of our inner personal journeys. Okay, there are all types of enslavement. There's groupthink. There's mass hysterias or mass hypnosis, where people just go into this. They get enslaved by an idea, or by an ideology, or by a desire or a goal, because we are so desperate to belong, and that's natural. We need belonging. Okay, that in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's just how far we will take it to feel like we belong, and forget that sometimes the way to belong to something noble and true and in alignment with us is by taking ourselves away and not belong to something that is not, even though it feels like it's the entire world. Right? When you're a student in college, like everyone around you, it feels like they are the metonymy of the world. So you go with, but then you step outside and you realize that there's an entire world out there, entire world outside your school, an entire world outside your country, an entire world outside this earth. Where even if you feel completely isolated, completely not belonged, or if you isolate yourself because you recognize that that's just not the truth, you will still stumble into what you do belong to. Belonging will never not be available to you unless you insist on belonging to that which isn't for you. Maybe never was for you, maybe just no longer for you. Maybe it was, but no longer. You got to be able to evolve. That's why many of the religions that we know today have gone through revising, sorry, not revisions, to match the expansion of today. Some have not, which is why there's so much horrid violence in the world, because some have not, and they're still stuck in old school mindset where things that should not be okay today are still okay. And it's not just one religion. I can think of more than one, including ideologies. Okay. Now, how does it apply to you in your life? This could be happening to you within a group that you've been a part of. This could be happening to you with a relationship that you've been a part of. It definitely applies to your life, but we're seeing liberation here. And okay, you're free of that mass hypnosis. You're free of that groupthink. Okay. The moon. Now what? It's confusing. It's disorienting. You had a compass. You had a set of rules. You had a direction. You had guidelines. You had a roadmap. And now you don't. You're not in the same terrain. Those roadmaps no longer apply. So it can be scary and confusing. But from there, births your own inner compass to guide you to the place that is yours, to the person that is yours, to the belief that is yours, to the so on and so forth. There's a lot of power coming through in this reading for you. Very empowering reading. I think you're about to find yourself in a whole new set of laws of physics. Just ways of thinking and operating and being in situations where you just weren't and you didn't even imagine available are going to become available for you and are going to become a part of, it's going to be the new norm. And so many major arcanas, like I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 minor arcanas. 2 of them are court cards. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards, and I'm also going to pull runes. Can you see? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange the cards in a way, in a system that helps me see other layers and other aspects to this reading. And I'm going to clarify it with more tarot cards. And I'm also going to pull more animal spirit and more runes to what I'm taking out right now. All of that will be available in the sequel. Okay, that I'm going to continue right after we say our goodbyes in here, but you can see me right away in the sequel. Okay, runes for this reading for Libra, please. Okay, first one out is Hera. Oh my gosh, and Gibber. That's amazing. Okay. So there's a karmic reward for a job well done, a spiritual job well done. You have been going through these cycles many, many times, trials and errors, failures and successes, and you've been consistent. You kept your light. You kept your flow, your kindness. Obviously, we can't be perfect, and it's not to say that you didn't have your moments, right? But you've become this gift to the world. Gable is a gift in Gaelic. It's like you no longer wait for the universe to gift you with things. You are the offered gift. This could denote a romantic relationship. So we're going to see if the sequel leads us to looking into that, because we do have the Knight of Cups here, so we're going to look into that. Okay, I'm going to clarify more to see what's the situation is. All right, I'll see you soon. Stay magic, stay true, stay free. Subscribe if you're new. I love you. Bye for now.